Okay?
Works, no problem.
Brilliant.
Before that, I would like to request you to take the audience with the tour of ITS from the video tour as well. If you would like me to do that, I can do that.
What do you mean tour? I'm not understanding.
Sure, I'll take over for the first stage. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Heena from Worldify Overseas. Today we have Luke Borg from ITS. Worldify proudly announces that now we are official partners with ITS, making sure that you guys are all benefited. We are here with the live show and we are going to help you understand exactly all about the courses today. This session is going to be very more amazing for people, those who are looking forward to get started with their careers in hospitality, travel, and a lot of things we are going to discuss and UK is going to help us walk through. Apart from that, like uh, all having the government funding as of benefits as well, like Erasmus. We'll be talking about a lot many things. So I'm just make over a lot of things that we are going to do today. Probably will hand it over to Luke to help that. But before that, I would request everyone to have the patience and let's have 30 seconds quick tour of ITS, which I do have. I mean, that's a video with me. Probably I would like all of you to watch that so that, the excitement and the momentum is going on fairly good. Superb. So I believe everybody could now at least imagine or just guess exactly what we are going to talk about. And I really loved the video. I hope everybody loved it too. So handing over the show to Luke probably to take you all through a lot of questions and a lot of details that you guys require. At the end of the session, we will hand over the session to Jaya, who's the International Licensing Officer at Worldify. She'll be representing students, those who have questions, she'll be asking on their behalf. Okay?
Okay, from my end.
Super.
So I'm going to share my
Sure.
screen. Okay?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Brilliant. So welcome to this presentation on the Institute of Tourism Studies. We're the Institute of Tourism Studies is in Malta. Okay, we've been founded in 1986. Our mission statement is to shape the excellence and innovation in tourism through teaching, learning, quality research, expert advice, and the realization of innovative business products. How do we do this? We do this through our belief that hands-on experience is the best experience. We have 2 restaurants at our institute, a canteen, a number of individual kitchens that help ours, and a number of other labs from a rooms division lab to a bartending lab, which helps students achieve that hands-on activity to build up their experience within the industry. Apart from that, most of our courses require students to go through the work experience in order for them to be able to obtain their qualification. Now, how do we work on the quality research? Work on the quality research by focusing also on the thesis of the student and also certain research within the current market to check new and evolving trends. Most students are also asked to research what is really going on within the industry. Most of them have that first-hand experience because they need to work, okay, whilst studying here as part of their curriculum. Okay, expert advice is achieved through our lecturers who not only do they teach at ITS, but most of them also still work in the industry or else have a very good grasp of what is going on within the industry. Okay, the realization of innovative business concepts usually comes throughout the whole, or most of it comes at the end of the semester, whereby students are asked to create certain business concepts, certain dinners, certain activities. Some of them are asked to create fairs, and therefore we try to achieve and foster innovative business concepts and ideas. So where is Malta? Malta is in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, as you can see from our dot. We are a European country in the European Union. We're approximately 2 hours away from major capital cities, from Rome, Greece, Athens, from Paris, 3 hours away from London. We're also very close to the African coast, approximately 30 minutes away from Sicily as well. So we are very well connected. We are rich in culture, and so why should you come over to Malta? Malta is a very, so apart from the normal sand and sea that you see within all our videos, okay, it is also important to note the rich history and the culture that we have. We have one of the oldest buildings in the world. We have very rich fortified cities such as Mdina and Valletta. We have a lot of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Apart from that, since we are members of the EU and form part of the Schengen area, students are able to travel to different parts of Europe. Please note that students can travel with the study visa for up to 90 days across Europe, although I do suggest that you do that within your own, within the various holidays that we have within our institute. We have a variety of sports and outdoor activities, including hiking, biking, rock climbing, scuba diving, parasailing, and windsurfing. There are another 2 islands apart from the main Malta. Okay, we have Gozo and Comino. If you look up and search for Comino, it's a beautiful island, not inhabited. It's quite uninhabited. There's only a hotel there. Most of our activity is also done through tourism. We are a festival paradise. We have a number of activities. International artists take the stage, a number of nightclubs and a lot of parties as well. Obviously, focus on studying first, but there is that available too. For example, this summer we have Katy Perry coming as well to Malta as part of the Isle of MTV. So that's very exciting for us. And each year there's a different artist with different people coming over, and that also some of our you might also want to work within events that are close to these international situations. We have a very good climate, okay, with an average of 300 days of sunshine here. But obviously, the students want to know probably about what they will be doing afterwards. So graduates have a 98% success rate of finding a job, both locally and internationally. This is because we require our students to work. We have a work-based learning department that focuses on helping students find job opportunities. A student studying at ITS will be able to work for up to 20 hours per week during the winter season, and then is required to do 520 hours, so 14 weeks at 40 hours per week during the summer season. This is part of his or her achievement, okay, certification, and it is required by our study course. We have a combination of both theoretical and practical training, which will help students acclimatize themselves to the particular environment as well, and strong partnerships with international educational establishments. I will mention the particular international educational establishments a little bit later on. So the tourism and hospitality industry in Malta contributes up to 9.8% of Malta's GDP. 30% of employment in Malta falls under travel and tourism industry, and that is again why we are significant on the national agenda. Okay. Due to the particular market significance, we feel that we are a government entity as well, and therefore we have to take care that our courses are relevant to the industry. ITS was initially created in order to be able to serve and the industry and help it achieve a higher standard of service. So, as you can see, the employment trends shows that we are one of the biggest single contributors. Okay, as you can see, the A, okay, was the technical, administrative, and supportive sector activities makes up 31%. We also 15% of the employees are in accommodation and food service activities. Okay, and that means that as a single contributor, we are one of the highest within the national single economy in Malta. Okay, so we have a variety of courses to choose from, ranging from hospitality and tourism to various other experiences. We have an internship experience for international students. They can do it both in Malta, okay, and as well abroad, but that comes a bit later on, usually at a bachelor's degree, okay. We have dedicated teams and services focused on visa, internship, guidance, registrars, well-being, and Erasmus. International students can also use some Erasmus funding within their in order for them to be able to travel to other institutions and maybe do some cross-exchange, okay? We have multiple specialized laboratories such as technology, IT, kitchens, bars, restaurants, receptions, rooms, science, and others. Most of our courses also include a number of industry visits, such as cultural visits, whereby some of our courses, such as tour guiding course, focuses on helping students understand the Maltese culture and also being able for them to explain it to foreigners coming from their country or countries with a similar language. Hospitality, tourism, air and seaports. Why do we send, for example, students to these particular places? Is so that they understand what will be expected of them in the industry and they can see and visualize themselves within that particular environment. And other courses, such as, for example, as the events courses, it is a necessary step so that the student understands what kind of venues Malta offers, where they are situated, and how they can set up. Because first we teach them the setup mode, and then we will show them how that can be used within the particular area, okay? We have various study resources, such as virtual and on-campus library. We have a virtual learning environment, and we're working on others as well. We have two campuses, one in Malta and one in Gozo, okay, whereby both campuses serve different types of requirements. The Gozo campus is focused on the first few formative years of our students, whilst the one in Malta usually offers the whole spectrum of courses that are offered on our website. So our accreditation and qualification recognition shows that we are the MQF, the Maltese Qualifications Framework, is pegged to the European Qualifications Framework. Therefore, most of our qualifications are accepted throughout Europe. Wherever the European Qualification Framework is accepted, the Maltese qualifications framework is accepted too. Okay, one of our strengths is also that we can get courses accredited internally, and that is a very important thing, because through our exposure with the industry, we are able to understand what new trends there are and how we can teach them. Okay, even sometimes most of our coordinators try and get people from the industry to be able to launch new courses or courses that are especially dedicated for particular reasons. I will be also able to explain once we get to the courses. As you can see here, all the qualifications offered by the Institute of Tourism Studies will award the students with internationally recognized qualifications based on the European and the Malta qualifications framework, okay, and the European credit transfer system. So, in order for students to be able to do the application, they are required to obtain what is called the equivalency report. Okay, the equivalency report is a report that equates the current educational level of the student to the Maltese qualifications framework, so that during their application, we can confirm or otherwise that the student is able to participate in that particular level of education or the level of education. If he is not, our admissions team usually send an email to the student in order for him or her to be able to apply or change their application to a different one. Once they receive confirmation that the student would like to change it to a different one, they act accordingly. Okay, the MFHEA, from where we get the equivalency report, is not an entity within ITS. It is a government entity, and it is basically something, an entity separate that is able to give and equate the current the student's educational level to the Maltese qualifications framework. There is another application that the students need to do after they, or basically, as long as they have the equivalency report, they will be able to apply with ITS, since it is a requirement for us. So the programs of study. I will not speak of the lower level courses, okay? We will start directly from the higher national diploma courses, the MQF level 5s. So we have a higher national diploma in tour guiding. It's an MQF level 5 program. It's the duration is 3 semesters, so basically that's a year and a half. And during the summer, that distinguishes the first year from the second year, the students need to do a local industry trade practice, whereby the students, as I explained before, are sent to work within the industry. The higher national, the tour guiding course focuses on helping the students obtain the tour guiding license. Okay, it is the only course at the moment that is recognized that can help students obtain that particular license, and you need the license in order to be able to offer tour guides in Malta. Okay, so each and every tour guide, we have approximately 600, are required to have the license. So undergraduate programs, we have the 3 different programs. We have the Bachelor in International Hospitality Management, and we also have the Bachelor in Culinary Arts and the Bachelor of Science in Diving Safety Management. So the Bachelor in International Hospitality Management is in collaboration with Ahuja University of Applied Sciences. This particular collaboration is defined by the second year usually, whereby students spend the second semester of the second year at Ahuja University in Finland. As I explained, we use Erasmus funding to help students travel to Finland, and they spend 3 months there. They can do this because the visa allows them to spend 90 days in another European country, and they spend a semester there, so they are able to learn 2 different types of educational systems through 2 different types of educational systems, the one that is Maltese, okay, and the one that is Finnish, all right? And this helps the student to also obtain a different type of education. That's what we feel. We feel that once the student goes through this course, he changes his outlook towards education and the way that he learns or she learns. We also offer the Bachelor in Culinary Arts in collaboration with Institute Life. Again, second semester of the second year, the student spends it in Institute Life in France, okay, where they are working within a 1 Michelin star restaurant, which is their training restaurant. They usually students add that to their CV, okay, and it is a very sought after course, okay, both from Maltese and international students. Both courses include LITP, and since the international student is already considered as having traveled to a country abroad, they can do the international trade practice in Malta. Okay, so both of them are LITP. And finally, we have the Bachelor of Science in Diving Safety Management. This is focused and specific for those students that have already a master's in diving. It is a very advanced course and focuses on people that have already masters within that particular sector. Finally, we have the Master of Arts in Heritage Interpretation at MQF Level 7. Okay, this particular course was a direct request from some of our tour guiding students, whereby they asked for it to be created in order for them to be able to advance their educational journey. Okay, we understood the market and we created this particular course. And finally, we have the MBA in International Hospitality Management. It's an MQF Level 7. It's a local grown as well. The total credits are 90 CTSs. The duration of the program is approximately 18 months. Since it is done on a full-time basis, sometimes it is a little bit less because the first year, the first 12 months, it's usually dedicated to courses, whilst the remaining months, or the remaining 6 months, it's usually focused on theory. Finally, I'm going to speak a little bit of the student visa. It gives access to Schengen countries. They can work 20 hours of work per week during the academic year and 40 hours of work per week during the summer period. Applications take between 9 and 10 weeks. We usually ask students to submit study visa applications with Identità up until the 27th of June. ITS only allows students to be able to start studying up to the 3rd week of study after that 3rd week, they will be automatically terminated by us. When they are automatically terminated, students will be receiving back their tuition fees. Okay, if the student is not in Malta studying with us by the 3rd week of study, then we will be stopping the student, because from our experience, once the 3rd week passes, then it is very difficult for the student to be able to catch up to his peers. And sometimes that devolves into it not being, not helping the student be the best that he can be. So we focus on that. These are some of our international partners, okay? Marriott, Inyala, Westin, Reliance, Chateau, Corinthia, Rosselli, Phoenicia, Kempinski, Hilton, Hyatt Regency, Shara Collection, and JW Marriott. We have other partners institutions both in Shanghai, in China, and in Zhengzhou as well. We also have in Kobe University, we mentioned Institute Life and Hagahelia. Finally, the institute stands as the main tourism institution in Malta. We're dedicated to deliver high quality education and training that meet both local and international industry standards. Through its diverse programs, strong industry links, and international collaborations, ITS continues to prepare future professionals with the skills, knowledge, and adaptability needed to thrive in a competitive global tourism landscape. As Malta Center of Excellence for Tourism Education, ITS remains committed to driving innovation, sustainability, and growth within the sector. Thank you very much. And for your attendance, I will stop sharing now. And if you have any queries, kindly let me know. Okay? So now I think it's up to Jaya to let us know if there are any questions or queries.
Oh, complete session. And apart from that, I really would like to thank you for picking up time and making sure that you're yourself available for the entire school section. I would like Jaya now, head of it, international licensing officer, to take over and ask questions on students' behalf. At the same time, we would make sure that all things are covered that students generally face difficulty with them. Okay? Over to you, Jaya.
Yeah. Hello everyone, that's Sai Jaya, International Licensing Officer from Worldify Overseas. So the first and the most asked question from the student side is this: IELTS is required, and like how much band they do need to require it? And is there any other exam you are preferring, like PT, TOEFL?
So we do accept other types of exams like TOEFL, okay? But if the student does not have the certification, nothing to worry about. We ask the student to do an English interview so that we can also see the level of English that the student has. So if the student does not have a certification, we ask the student to attend an English interview in order to see their proficiency.
Okay. And like how much study gap do you accept? Like up to like how
So
much?
we don't have any issue with study gaps, but some courses have different types of age limit. So to my knowledge, the ones that I presented to you does not have a set age limit, okay? But lower level courses such as foundation and certificate, students that are older than 22 years of age cannot apply for them, okay? And will be rejected from our end, all right? Just another thing that I would like to mention, there are two fees, okay, at application stage. One of them is the application fee, which is approximately 100 euros, which is non-refundable, okay? And the second fee is the tuition fee, which is a little bit more and is according to the particular course that one is following. We accept the first semester tuition fee as a confirmation of payment from the students, and that particular tuition fee will be returned if the student does not have or does not receive the visa. Okay, if he is rejected or refused the visa, we will be able to return the first semester tuition fee or any tuition fee paid. Okay.
All right. And another most asked question we have is like, is there any interview for student to like after for getting offer letter, like before that?
So is there any other interview? To my knowledge, not necessarily, but admissions do not fall within my remit. Having said that, usually in previous years, there weren't any interviews apart from the English one that I mentioned, if the student does not have an English level. But it might change because in our entry criteria, there is written that an interview we will ask for an interview if the admissions team feels that that particular case requires an interview. So it is on a case-by-case basis, and they check for that particular situation. Another thing that I would like to add is that applications for ITS are open until the 4th of May. Okay, so that's 2 weeks from now. All right, so it's a bit, we're in a bit tight gap here.
Okay, and most of their parents, and they have a query like, what is the job security they are getting after completing their study from the ITS?
So most of the students are required to work as part of their courses. Okay, so usually what happens is that once they finish off, if they're not going to continue on studying, most of our courses, although are lead to different levels. Usually what happens is that they are working during the summer period, and after that they continue on to the next level. But if a student wants to stop, usually he will be able to continue working with the person that he had started to work with during the summer period. He would need to change his visa from one of study to a work permit. Okay, once he has completed his tuition, please note that with our new migration law, if a student does not finish his course, okay, he would not be able to go to a different type of visa, and therefore he would need to go back from where he came and apply again for a different kind of visa. Okay, so the number of success rates is approximately 98% for students, because we require students to find job opportunities in order for them to be able to finish their course, and they need to finish their course in order for them to continue on staying here in Malta and also continue working within the industry.
Okay, and I want to know which program currently have the highest placement success rate now?
As I explained, almost all of them has a very high placement success rate, because they are required by the only course that does not require students to find employment, to my knowledge, is the master's course. Okay, the rest requires students to work, and if one is applying and studying for a master course, they are usually a little bit older, and they understand, and they are usually able to find job employment at a much faster rate. Okay.
Okay. And what about the internship? Do you provide the internship? And is it paid or unpaid?
So it's a paid internship. It's basically, we do not provide it, but we help students find up to 6 different job opportunities within the Maltese market. Then it is always up to the students to show that he is able and willing to work. Okay. Where there are situations, very rare situations, where students were not willing to work, and therefore they had issues in finding employment. But we usually managed to train the students even for job interviews and the rest, in order for them to have a very good opportunity and chance to find work.
Okay. And is there any fees they need to submit to get an offer letter, and how much amount they need to pay?
So as I explained, there is the 100 euros application fee, which is that is non-refundable. Once they are accepted at ITS, in order for them to be issued the school enrollment letter, they are required to pay the first semester fees. Okay, those fees are all found on our website according to the course. Okay, once they pay their first semester tuition fee, what usually happens is that we send an email to the student with the required required amount of with a list of documents that are required by Identità.
Okay.
And some other information related to the applications of the visa. Okay, and then we also send a list to Identità with the students' names so to show that these students that are going to apply now are ITS students, because Identita requested of us in order for them to know that these are our students. Okay?
All right. And you say the deadline is 4th May. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Luke. No more question from my side.
Good.
Hi, Luke. So I'll take over the last question, but not the least one. Luke, we have heard that ITS holds a long and a huge chain of hotels, and you guys are like contributing to Malta with the travel, tourism, hospitality, and lot more. So most of the students, do you guys place in your current segment, and students do get more confident engagement in the industry with your uphold and placement support as well? Can we confirm this to the students?
Yes, so what usually happens is that we see that most of our students, the students that have been studying at ITS, tend to be promoted much quicker than other people, especially within the industry. This is because they have both theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge. As I explained, we have a lot of labs, laboratories that are focused on helping students achieve a higher level or higher standard of work, be it in bar, be it in professionally, be it front of house, be it in rooms division, events management. We also have a bar for wines. We have a lab for wines. We have a lab for bar training. This helps, we believe, in our ethos. We understand, and even through proven success stories, we believe that this is exactly what the industry wants to have in a student, that he is ready to go once he gets to the he's not only used to the work, but he is ready to engage in a positive and affirmative way, which we usually train our students to be. Okay, that's why we take it very seriously, especially the language, because we want our students to be able to understand what we teach. Okay. I do believe that that's basically, we found that, yes, ITS students tend to be promoted very quickly in the industry.
That's great. That's a good news for a lot of students, because who are watching this, of course, are very much worried that how do they get the placement. Apart from that, Luke, we have always heard about Malta, and travel and tourism comes by default to our minds. And we really want to exactly understand, like, how about the potential salaries that a student can get after completing the bachelor's from ITS, be it in culinary, travel, tourism, what could be the highest salary that one can achieve at the maximum potential levels?
So with regards to salaries, this is always up for discussion between the students and the employers. What I can always say is that the industry is always looking out for new and higher level people, and it's a very competitive market, and it's an employees market. It is very difficult to find talented work, and that is what we offer, talented students. So I cannot give you a specific number, because different entities and different job opportunities offer different kinds of work. But especially during our internships, we require the industry to at least do the national minimum wage, because we need to see the payment receipts in order for us to confirm. Usually the students are paid more than the national minimum wage, because it's basically approximately 1,200, something like that, per month. Okay, students usually get something a little bit along those lines. All right, but there's the national minimum wage between 900 and 1,200. That's usually the range. Most of our students get more because of work, of overtime, of various activities, and other things. That's usually it, basically.
That's great. ITS have a buzz of Erasmus very recently in the website. I could see that, and most of the people are very curious to know exactly what it is all about. People has always been encouraging the mobility across Schengen, and students have been very much curious that if they can get some placement across the Schengen areas, not just Malta, but also like if they would like to go for German, Luxembourg, or any of the Schengen areas. Does these programs actually help them mobilize all across Schengen and contribute? And how does Erasmus projects, contribute to their mobility and easy mobility?
So, according to the programs, we usually, although Erasmus is available for all level courses and for all students, we usually try and let the students that are at a lower level, okay, remain in Malta due to, first of all, the age of the student, also the help that they need to obtain in order for them to be able to travel. And therefore, we usually suggest that if you are in the first few years, you remain on the island rather than travel abroad. Having said that, it is available for everyone. Okay? With Erasmus, especially at our bachelor level, we usually, our students are required to use Erasmus funding in order for them to finish off their courses. Okay? As we explained, we have the Bachelor in Culinary Arts and the Bachelor in International Hospitality Management. Both use the Erasmus funds in order for them to be able to achieve the number of, to go abroad, basically. Okay? And help them even with their lodging once they are abroad. It usually does not cover, to my knowledge, food. So the students would need to pay for food. Okay, but it covers most of the costs or the highest level of costs, to my knowledge. And it's a beautiful experience as well. Students are able to learn differently in different parts of the world, and it's a wonderful experience for all our students. We currently have approximately, I do believe, 6 to 7 international students in Finland at the moment. We have Chinese. I do believe that we have some Albanians as well. Hopefully, we'll have some of the students coming from your countries next.
Of course, yes, Luke. Luke, when we visited campus, we could see hoarding of skill pass. And this has been very recently launched by the government and talked about very less recently on the live shows. So I really wanted you to enlighten about what the skill pass is all about and, how actually that would impact new people who are applying for Malta.
So there are two different types of skills pass, okay? The first one is one that is being done, to my knowledge, by everyone, even students, where students are required to do a very short interview in order for them to be able to travel to Malta. I forgot the exact, it's not per se skills pass, it's a different type of, I forgot the exact name. But that is usually done by everyone. On a secondary note, students that are traveling with a study visa then do not need to do the skills pass per se, because usually only people that are working. Now, when we come to work, what we usually do is we submit the student's name and we set up the whole process. Okay, submit the student on the website ourselves, on skills pass websites ourselves. Okay. And help them obtain a 9-month pass, okay, for them to be able to work and do whatever they need to do during those times, okay? Once they have achieved one of our courses, then they would be able to submit their certification and only pay 50 euros in order to achieve skills pass, okay? Because our courses are recognized in Malta and skills pass recognizes that. Okay.
Okay, great, Luke. That the complete information was very insightful. Thank you so much for the most easiest and precisest explanation of everything that we asked for. And Luke, I really wish everybody who's watching this show probably gets motivated and knows exactly how they can definitely make their pathway through ITS easily to Malta. And I have been myself following all the courses, and they're all very, very encouraging. At the same time, they're very exciting because it does bring you an industry experience at the same time, not just a rote learning. It comes up with a practical training too. That is what I really loved about this, because most of the students, when they are studying in India, they genuinely lack this factor, and they always will that they actually can get something of this sort. They are given a practical exposure of an industry training of, and then they are actually placed as well. And ITS does everything for them. Apart from that, there is one more advantage that comes along with, which is Get Qualified scheme that is very much talked about in people are very much in love with in Malta, because of government has given the 70% of the tax or redemption of their fee, whatever they are going to pay for their qualification. So it's more like that anytime anybody is coming to Malta, it's just not upskilling, but also government supporting you so much for that. So that's a good point, what we feel. Now, with this, I would like to definitely conclude with the show. This show was powered by Worldify Overseas in collaboration with ITS. We are already honored partners with them. So anybody who wants to apply for ITS can contact on these contact numbers, and definitely get in touch with us so that we can help you on shortest notice possible, as the deadlines are very shortest note they are approaching. So it's like 4th May that we are closing the application strictly, no more extensions. So if you're genuinely intending to go for it, September 26, all yours, you'll be there in Malta. And we together as a collaborative organization and institution are going to help you and support you. And if there are any queries, Luke shall be definitely helpful. So you guys can drop your queries also in the live show comment box. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you so much, Jaya, for being part of this. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye.